This is a closer look at a ancient Native American stone axe head from Tippecanoe County, Indiana. I found this out in the wilds of eBay one night, out hunting for a stone axe head. I'm building a collection of stone axe heads for a few reasons, but this one's from Tippecanoe County, and I just wanted to highlight a point about ancient artifacts that you can only go by unless you found the relic in the ground yourself. Unless you found it, then all you can go by is what the owner told you prior, the seller. Oftentimes people can go to Native American expos or relic shows and purchase in bulk arrowheads, not knowing the history of each individual find, where they were found, which could help associate them with a certain nation of Native Americans. And they'll say that in their listings. They'll just say, unknown, and that's it. So you're just buying an unknown, gorgeous, ancient object. You can speculate, and speculating is very fun. You can have speculation that's unless you find this in the ground yourself, and then you do the research about what nations of Native Americans live there, then you're speculating. But that's all we can do, because there's no maker's mark on these relics, on these artifacts. There's no serial number. I can't locate this in a Sears Roebuck catalog from the year 5 AD. I wish I owned every catalog I sell and buy antiques. I'm an antique and vintage dealer, and catalogs are a great reference, because unless you can remember in living memory when an object was made, you have to either know someone who did or consult a catalog for the finite answer. This was released May 30th, 1972 or whatever. So with artifacts like this that are ancient, you could have a PhD from Harvard in archaeology, but you're still speculating on what nation made it and where it was made, because it could have been brought in from a neighboring or a foreign nation and dropped in battle, and then assumed it could be associated to a local nation of Native Americans. So we're just speculating, but that's the beauty and fun of it. They're fun to talk about. I like talking to my elders who have more experience than I do, to learn from them. I encourage you to do that as well. This is from Tippecanoe. So Tippecanoe is in Indiana. There was a famous battle there fought in 1811 against the Native Americans in the U.S. Army. Excuse me. I've read a newspaper article from 1811. So if you want to find good resources for historical events, go find a newspaper from that day or that year. So I read an article from an 1811 newspaper talking about how the Native Americans amassed an army of 2,200 very angry individuals, and the American side, I forget the names of the generals, were urgently requesting backup and militia, like get the men and boys out of the towns and get them enlisted to help us. That's a very it's a paraphrase of a 3-paragraph article, but it's quite interesting. Now I think this is probably the Tippecanoe County Native American occupation dates back as far as 8,000 BCE. So that's ancient, that's beyond, and that's prehistoric. 8,000 BCE. So this could be that old. It could be 5,000 BCE. It could be 280. This is why I like stone axes, because with flint and chert, there's still stone nappers. Stone napping is the art of breaking flint to make tools, and people, men and women, still do it up until this day, and they're very good at it. But stone like this, the process of grinding that groove, you can see it's smooth, and it's around the whole diameter or the whole circumference of the axe head. Let me try to get a close-up with this iPhone. You can see the grain of the rock there. and it's just smooth there. These were handed down from generations and generations until someone dropped it, either in death or battle or both, or who knows. Because you just wouldn't make this and throw it away. You'd be used until it broke or it was lost for whatever reason, and then someone else finds it. So that's why I bought this. I bought this on eBay because I like the fact that I know where it's from. The person said they found this in Tippecanoe County, Indiana, in a field 50 years ago. So, I find that more valuable than just buying this and not knowing anything about it, except that it's ancient and it was, it's from a Native American nation at some point in history. This is gorgeous. It boggles the mind to think how these were used, and these would be attached to you could take a stick and split it, and then you would put the splits in there, and you could tie it off at the top to act as it could be a hatchet, could be a battle axe, could be just a tool, or for using like this. You would hold it like this. It fits very ergodynamically in your hand, and then you could chop corn or whatever. So that makes total sense as well. This fits extremely well in my hand, and because you'd be doing this all day, every day, your whole life, you would need to have stone tools that are comfortable in your hand. Otherwise, you risk infection and cutting yourself. And I'm sure the ancients were aware of that. Your hands are everything. So using this all day, every day, you'd want something that fits well in your hand without being abrasive. And this is very smooth. It's an amazing piece of history. I wish I could talk. I hope you find one. I want to find one. My goal is to find a stone axe head out in the wild. I've only found 2 on eBay that I wanted to purchase, and I have another one that's larger and that's got red ochre. That's a spectacular specimen. I made some videos on that as well. It's a red ochre axe head. But this is my Tippecanoe ancient Native American stone axe head. Thanks for checking in.